Good morning. Welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday, 21st of February. So, looking ahead a little bit for this morning, and well, we've sat in this consolidated phase for most of yesterday. Eventually broke out through the Asian session there, and well, heading further south now, possibly uh, down. Looking at this price action overall, may go towards those prior lows there, and maybe even the monthly S1 at some point. Certainly those prior lows with a weekly S1 certainly look a possibility. Now, of course, in between that, looking at the hourly time frame and looking with I've got the daily pivots on, and you can see they're pinched as anything. And also we've got a bit of a divergence going on with a daily pivot above us, so there is a possibility we could find a bit of support over here or a little bit further down into the S3. But it is possible that we could retrace a chunk of this, if not all the way back to the pivot, but maybe back to the 60/20s. Um, the side of that, there's not much else to be said. I mean, it, it doesn't look attractive to get in at the moment, and well, in terms of looking at the long side, maybe if it breaks back above that hourly 8, it could be a possibility, but as I say, not looking good. Cables remain pretty much and consolidates further inside its wedge there. Again, it's the move really triggered at midnight or in the Asian session there as a Fed speaker suggests that they could be increasing rates sooner rather than later. And well, at the moment, again, there's a sort of a marginal divergence. It's not a tradable divergence, but it's certainly marginal there. Pivot's much more spread on cable, but all the same, it's become a choppy old pair at the moment. And it's whilst attempting some trades last week, it's just whilst it sits in this wedge, it's well, there's risk with it all of the time, and at the moment, I'm personally staying away from it. So that's that. Dollar yen, much more attractive. Again, yesterday it did a similar thing to the euro, inverted and stayed consolidated for most of the day. Did push up a little bit, and the Asian session, of course, we've seen a similar shove. On the news, on the comments from the US speaker. However, it's pulling back quite strongly at the moment. Again, has a pivot. Well, in this case, it's below it. So it has run into pretty much into its R3 there, which maybe provides some temporary resistance. But again, just like the euro, it is so pinched here. These pivots are really, really pinched. And I mean, if you're in a swing, you would just be ignoring these anyway. But short term, we're looking for a day trade. At the moment, it's not looking that pretty. As I say, there's a possibility of the daily pivot, but the 60/21 moving averages may stall that along with that 500 that's sitting through the middle there. Overall, the bigger picture on it, I'm still wondering if it'll push back up again. But as I said last week in our trading room, as we move towards March, we often see, or used to see, a lot of repatriation of dollars to yen as companies finalize their books for the year. So there is that possibility we could see it coming off a bit, but at the moment it's strong. Aussie dollar, well, it has remained the stronger one, the stronger pair. Did manage a little bit of an update today, already off this morning. The minutes of monetary policy didn't move it too much. It's pretty consolidated and still within this consolidated phase. Not a lot there for we can see at the moment. It's already hit the daily pivot there, S1. Again, the pivots are pinched. Maybe just looking from the bigger picture back to the bigger picture here, could be breaking. It's put a daily pivot swing, a 4-hourly pivot swing in there, and we could see some further downside, maybe looking towards this 100 MA, this 4-hourly 100 MA there. and maybe at some point back to the daily 21, which is below that. It's been a long time since it's been there. Canadian dollar, well, trying to push out the upper side of this trend at the moment and back towards its monthly pivot there. Tick the box of the weekly pivot, that's fine. It's shoving up at the moment. It's again, as with the yen, it's got an untouched daily pivot below. It did extreme into those highs there. Maybe just want to push up a little bit further yet back into that monthly pivot, but struggling with the R2 pivot at the moment. Not much else on that. I mean, in terms of looking for a play back to the pivot, I think it's probably a biggish ask in this trend, but maybe if it breaks back below the 8, it could set something up. But a lot of these markets this morning have already had a bit of a move through that Asian session, and we'll see how they pan out, but not looking particularly attractive. Now, news-wise today, we've got news at 8:30. We've got the French and German flash manufacturing data coming out, and 9 o'clock we've got the European data. This really doesn't move the markets that much. Aside of that, then we've got well, it's still the European finance meetings going on all day today. Perhaps we'll get some comments coming out from that again, and maybe towards the end of the day we'll see some sort of statement. Aside of that, there's very little happening today in terms of news. There's a couple of FOMC speakers this afternoon, actually, which may create some volatility there. Just flicking through reading. Yep, there could be some at 1:50, 5 o'clock, some reaction to their speeches. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.